This is how to find your authentic self in 7 simple steps. My name is Covenant, and it's wonderful to have you here. Let's get right into it. Number one, the exploration phase. This is where you explore your interests, your values, your passions to gain a deeper understanding of what truly resonates with you. So, what do? Here? You write out your interests, write out your values, write out your passions, right? It's good to have this written down. It reduces the amount of mental work that goes into this because it's laid out and you can just go back and make your decisions from there or make changes, right? So after you've written down your interests, your values and passions, in case you don't know what these in case you don't know how to find these out, it's simple. What can you do without stressing? What can you do for a good amount of time without getting bored? What can you do that you don't have to be pushed to do something? You can just, you don't even have to motivate yourself to do it. Something you just get up and start doing and actually love doing it, right? These are your interests, which could also be your values, which could also be your passions. So then you write this down. And after that, you narrow them down, right? Narrow them down according to priority. So let's say personally, I find cooking interesting. Not so much recently though. However, I find cooking interesting. Find singing interesting. I sing. I also love to talk. I love to speak to people, right? Among these three things now, which is a priority? These are all passions, by the way. I would love to own a restaurant. Of course, I'm going to be in the music industry, aside from church choir, right? And speaking, which is what I'm doing right now, right? So among these three, do I set mine according to priority right now? Singing on the stage, I need platform. I can do it from the house as well. But then it's not it for me because there's more involved. I need instruments, so at least instrumentals to release some or to do some music, right? For cooking, of course, you need a kitchen, you need ingredients, as well as preparation and all of that needed. Now, when it comes to speaking, it comes really easy. It's sort of inborn. It's the easiest. It's something I can thrive in without much work, without much planning, without much anything really. So, of course, that is where I have to lean into the more. That doesn't mean that I cannot get involved in singing. I am already involved in music, in cooking, and all of that, right? But then this is why you have to prioritize and find out which be best suited for you, especially if you're trying to make some income or just be more productive. So this could be anything for you. Break it down, write it down, break it down, sincere with yourself, and you'll figure it out. Now let's get to the next one. Number two, reflective practice. This is where you incorporate your regular self reflection exercises into your routine to identify patterns, strengths, and areas of growth. Now, I've already talked about a little of this in the first one, identifying patterns, strengths, and areas for growth. Like I said, in my case, talking, speaking, obviously, it's a strength, right? I've identified speaking as a strength, and now I've also identified it as an area for growth, right? Because, of course, I just had to turn on my camera and I'm here. It's pretty easy, right? So, incorporate regular self-reflective exercises. What is that? It's similar to meditation. Get in tune with yourself. Really sit with yourself. have a conversation with yourself, know what is and what isn't for you, know your strengths and what's not your strength. Okay, when it comes to singing, for me, I now have to analyze how strong am I in this? How far can I go with this? Is it just a hobby? Is it something that I can take on as a career and actually be successful in it? Right? We are trying to um analyze our areas for growth in all of our interests here. When it comes to cooking, do I have the capacity to own a restaurant? Do I have the strength to do that sort of work? Because there's a lot of work involved. And honestly, I do not have that amount of physical strength to do that. So, of course, cooking goes out of it. Now, there are other things you can consider. How else can I do this if I cannot? You understand? When you figure out what, the next thing to figure out is the how. How to make it work for. Now, we're taking into consideration that what you identify as a strength or your interest may not necessarily be something you have all the means to do right now. So you have to consider the how as well. Now, let's go to number 3, embrace vulnerability. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and open to new experiences, as they often lead to profound self discovery and personal growth. Now, what is one reason that would not allow you vulnerable? Is it shame? People would see you. What are the excuses? And then, what is the worst that can happen when you let yourself be vulnerable? Consider these, write them down. See if it's a do or die affair. Is it something you can work with? Is it something you can manage? For real. Because sometimes we say, no, 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 I can't do this. But then you actually can. You should just allow yourself to try and you see that you can, right? So you have to allow some vulnerability to really discover yourself. Just step out of your comfort zone a little bit. Most times, what we're drawn to, we also don't want to do, or don't have the courage to do, or don't have the should I call it the strength to push to do. But you just have to. You just have to. That's the way to grow, right? All right. Number 4 then. Questioning assumptions. Challenge societal norms and expectations to uncover your authentic beliefs, desires, and aspirations. This is very important, questioning assumptions. It's also tied to vulnerability because why can't you do this? What is the actual reason why you can write it down? And then follow up with, is this true for me? Or is it an assumption? Is it a societal norm, which is actually not supposed to be? Is it doable? Are there people doing this? Can I be the first to do this? I can assure you that whatever you're thinking, there are so many other people already doing it. So you will not be an exemption at all. But then there's nothing wrong with being an exemption, right? In discovering yourself. So uncover your authentic desires, which is similar to number 1. So you can see that it is all incorporative. So, and your aspirations, your authentic aspirations, what do you aspire to do? What is the essence of wanting to discover yourself? What do you want to achieve? What are your aspirations, right? So consider that, write them down. Write them down. It's necessary because at the end of the day, you're going to go through it and then write your conclusions. Okay, let's move on to number 5. Mindfulness practices. Cultivate mindfulness through meditation, journaling, or other practices to develop greater self awareness and presence in the moment. Cultivate mindfulness through meditation, journaling. Now, I've been saying to write, that is journaling. It's very necessary to write. It's It's very, very, very necessary to write. It's life changing to write because you put it down. The Bible says to write a vision, to make it plain, right? Why? So that you can take it. This is simple, right? And now I have sentence written here. I have like literally different things, right? And I can just open one. I have some things here on business and ministry, right? I cannot tell you what exactly is in here, word for word, point, point, right now. That's the essence of having it written down. And then sometimes when you write, you find that you're writing so many pages, right? So many pages. You actually do have them in your mind, but there's a difference. It's written down. You can just read it back without having to sit and rethink your plans, your strategies. What is meditation? Is just sitting down and reflecting on yourself, or just sitting down calmly, no noise, no distractions, just but when people say meditation, do you know you can actually be talking and still be meditating? Meditation is just spending time with your inner self. It's really what it is. So you can be having a discussion with yourself and still be meditating. The only thing there is that now it's just me and me, right? Just the way I'm looking into this camera right now. So I can actually discuss with myself. Like hi. And you know, you just find that peace which eventually turns to an idea, which eventually turns to something profound. You just get the answer to what you've been looking for. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Let's talk about getting awareness. Meditation and journaling will do one thing. It will lead you to awareness. Awareness of yourself, of your environment, of your practices, your values, and everything. It will get you to reflect, remove, act, do an inner cleanse, which will produce outer results. So, number 6, authentic expression. Embrace your uniqueness and express yourself authentically, whether through creative pursuits, communication, or personal style. Now that you've figured out what your likes and dislikes are, what's comfortable, your area of best possible growth, now it is time to find a method of expression of your authentic self, right? Self discovery isn't about discovering someone else, it's totally about discovering yourself. You can get ideas from other people on subjects that you know nothing or little about. However, you have to make it yours. You've got to own it. I mean, you could repeat my video word for word, but then that's me, even though it's your voice and your face, probably. But that's me. But then you can listen to me and take up your own notes in your words. Maybe repeat a few words of mine, but then in your words, in your understanding, put it back out in your own way. And then it becomes yours. It's really that easy, right? And finally, number 7, continuous evolution. Recognize that self discovery is an ongoing journey and remain open to evolving perspectives, interests, and goals as you continue to uncover your authentic self. Now that you discovered your authentic self, the next step is to continue to grow. continue to learn. Self-discovery is a continuous process, right? Every day you find that, oh, it can get better. Oh, wow, I can actually go here. I can actually now do this. I couldn't do this before, but now I can do this. And now that I've done this, I can even move a step further and do another. You see? So it's an ongoing journey and a necessary one. And you see that your life will be transforming from beauty to beauty. Make sure to discover yourself. Now that you've gotten to this point, I want you to draw a conclusion, right? Out of everything that you've written, sit with yourself and narrow it all down. I leave this portion to you because, of course, I can't do it for you, right? I could. I do for people. So if you want me to narrow it down for you, thank you for narrowing it down. I'm going to put details of that on the screen. However, you've got to do the work. The work I mean is writing down from the first point, my first step, all the way down to the fifth, and also to the sixth, because I want to see your own view, right? And after which we can have like some time to talk, FaceTime, of course, where we discuss and kind of break them down, and then I share my ideas with you, and we'll rub minds together and see if it resonates. So, that being said, I truly hope that everyone, everywhere, can do so much better for themselves in a short amount of time. That being said, I truly hope that you don't just watch this video and not have a change and not experience a new you, experience life in a new way, right? Well, again, my name is Covenant, and it's really wonderful having this discussion. I actually really enjoyed making this session, and I'm going to be making more for the rest of the month. I'm actually going to be making this a 30-day series. Today is April 23rd. I'll probably upload this today or tomorrow, but it's going to continue until May.